Moving back to the design space, we can import 3D designed models built in a CAD software of our choosing, or we can use the tool that is provided to do simple illustration and some limited project design. On the left-hand side are a variety of tools that allow us to do so. There's a pre-generated shapes utility that allows us to draw circles or squares or triangles. And as you see, as I place it on the design field, as you can see on the right-hand side, in the preview, the design is pre-populated with our work as we adjust it. On the back on the left-hand side, each object that we place in the design view has control handles that allow us to make adjustments to it, either stretching it or rotating it. Below the shape tool is a line tool. This allows us to draw precision lines. By double-clicking, we can adjust that. As you see to the right, after I created my line and selected it, there's a field that shows the depth through which I can have the machine cut. The cut will automatically not exceed the depth of the workpiece, so that 0.49 inches that I put in earlier is the maximum cutting depth that I can insert. I can either type in the cutting depth I wish in the depth field here, or use the scroll bar. One thing to point out, whenever I'm cutting through the material entirely, the software will automatically generate tabs. As you see here, there's yellow infills in the line. These represent an area where the machine will intentionally not cut all the way through the wood, so that after the machine cuts this groove, these small tabs will still be holding the material together. Then we can go back with a hand tool and remove those. The tabs simply prevent machining problems where the two pieces might move separately, or in the case of our square, if we were cutting the square all the way through the material to remove it, and using a cut path that cuts the square out, we wouldn't want the inside of the material to fall out. Moving back to that cut path tool I showed you, the square right now is set to just have the router cut the perimeter, leaving a finished square on the inside and a finished piece on the outside that can be lifted out. We can also choose to have the blade move several other ways. It can either move on the inside of our line, so the line that we've drawn specifically, the blade will move along the inside edge of that line. We can choose to have it move along the outside edge of that line. So you can see the line itself, and then the black line represents the material that was removed. Or we can choose to have the machine clear out a pocket. This will cause the router bit to cut and grind away every single piece of material within this area. Obviously that takes a lot more time than just cutting a piece out, but sometimes that's what you need to do. The tabs, as we show, can be moved by clicking on them and dragging them around the line. But whenever you have an enclosed piece inside a workpiece like this that's being removed, you will want to use tabs to avoid it jamming and potentially damaging the router bit. When configuring tabs, below the depth menu, there's a checkbox to use or not use tabs, and then you can adjust the length and height of the tabs as well as the number of the tabs for each shape. If we move to the Shape tab on this right-hand side menu, we can adjust specifically the size, rotational angle, corner radius, and other properties of a selected shape. So for example, we can enter a rotation angle, add rounded corners, etc. On the left-hand side, the drill tool, using this indication, will simply have the router travel and just drill straight through our workpiece rather than cutting in a line or cutting out a shape. This can be useful if we're manufacturing a piece that we want to hang on the wall and we want to have a pre-made hole to put a nail through, or for a number of other different tools. On the left, there's a font tool, which allows us to insert text. The text has the same property as shapes. It has adjustable depth on the cut, and it can be all the way from cut out to just thinly recessed. There are some pre-made icons that you can choose from in the design library. And the Inventables website has a variety of pre-produced projects and resources also available. For example, a fidget spinner, various different kinds of text tools. All of these options and a variety of other resources are available on the Inventables website. One tool that a lot of users do really enjoy is creating CNC produced inlays, as you can see in the video that's playing here, where two different kinds of wood are inlaid into one another.